Good morning, PS 17, and happy Fantastic Friday. Today is Friday, May 8th, 2020. If everybody could kindly rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. We're standing tall, we're facing our flag, hands are placed over our hearts. Salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for our school mission statement. We are here to be literate, innovative, and proficient scholars who will participate in rich academic learning in a nurturing environment where we will rise. This will be accomplished by creating collaborative and supportive teaching and learning systems involving the entire PS 17 community. Okay, families, we have reached the end of another school week. We are so happy that you're joining us this morning. We are reading Thanks for the Feedback. And remember that RJ was sort of having a hard time receiving feedback because he didn't know how to react when somebody gave him some feedback. And so we left off where he was at parent-teacher conferences. And remember, his teacher said gave him some glow feedback, which are things that she thinks are doing well. He's doing well. And then she gave him some grows, some next steps to get even better. And his head started swimming. And remember that his mom had to say, "It's okay, stop talking," because he was sort of getting defensive. I'm getting better at that, and I'm not the only one who does that. So he wasn't able to receive the feedback. And what happens sometimes if you're not able to receive feedback, both feedback that feels good, right? Because sometimes we're told that we're doing something well, and sometimes we're told that we have to do a couple of things better, some grows. And if you have a hard time receiving both your glows and your grows, you're never going to grow. You're never going to know how to get better. So it's important to listen to people when they speak. You don't always have to agree with them, but listen to them because you can learn something from anybody, okay? So, well, from most people. So we're going to continue. They go home from the parent-teacher conference. Okay, so let's keep reading. Let's see what happens with RJ and his family. When we got home that night, my parents made me sit at the kitchen table with them so we could talk about my conference. RJ, my mom said, your teacher gave you some really nice compliments tonight. Why didn't you just tell her thank you? When my teacher's words went into my head, I started to think about what she said. I had no idea what to say back to her. Then all of my words just turned into a blur. RJ, when somebody gives you a compliment, the best thing for you to do is to look at that person, use a nice, pleasant voice, and say, well, thank you. Knowing the power of a compliment and learning how to accept praise can make you better and more successful in life. Then, RJ, my dad said, your teacher gave you some constructive feedback on how you can do better, and you kind of sort of started to argue with her. But Dad, when my teacher's words went into my head, I started to think about what she said. I had no idea what to say back to her. Then all of my words turned into a blur. RJ, feedback is a good thing. It's information that can help you improve and grow. Most of the time when a person gives you feedback, it doesn't make you feel good, but that's the price you have to pay for growing. The way you handle feedback will make a difference in how other people treat you. Some people will give you mean feedback, and most of the time that's difficult to accept. You probably don't deserve mean feedback. But some people need to put others down so they can feel better about themselves. But just keep in mind, RJ, most feedback is just information, right? So it's like he doesn't really have a plant growing out of his head, right? But plants need water. So I'm inferring from this picture what the author is trying to say is that feedback, if we learn how to accept it, can help us grow. And if we learn how to handle even mean feedback and how to handle people that give us mean feedback, we can also grow. Let's keep reading. When somebody gives you feedback, they're helping to improve who you are. Listen to the person and say, okay, their words just might take you far. Make sure that when you listen, you look to the one who is talking to you. Stay calm on the inside, no matter what is said. Then carefully think it through. Are there times in your class when you talk too loud or too much? Yeah, I guess. Do you have a hard time staying in your seat during work time? Yeah, I guess. Do you need to focus more in class so you don't waste your time? Yeah, I guess. Well, RJ, I think your teacher was giving you great feedback. About 39 years later, I got up from the kitchen table and went to bed. Before I went to sleep, I thought about everything my mom and dad had told me. What they said really did make sense. The next day at school, I used the sides of my feet to kick the soccer ball, just like Sam told me to, and I made 3 goals during recess. When the bell rang, Sam came up to me and said, "You're awesome, RJ." I looked at him, smiled big, and said, "Thanks," just like my mom told me to do. During work time, when my teacher gave me the special signal for sit down, stop talking, and start working, I picked up on it right away, really tried to focus, and I got all of my work done without wasting time. At the end of the day, Bossy Bernice came over to my desk. "You stink at math because you don't show all of the steps," she said. "I bet you even copy off the other people so you can get the right answers." That's not nice feedback, right? Let's see how he's going to react. When Bernice's words went into my head, I started to think about what she said. She called me a cheater, and that's kind of mean. But her information is not what it seems. Maybe Bernice is just having a bad day. And unfortunately, I happened to get in her way. Maybe I should write down all of the steps. Then my teacher will know that I'm doing my best. Bernice gave me feedback, and now I know feedback is information that's helping me grow. "I don't cheat, Bernice," I said, "but you're probably right. I should write down all of my steps. Thanks for the tip." So he's learning how to receive feedback in different ways, right? P.S. I think maybe my dad should talk to Bernice. So this was a book about learning how to accept information from others, to accept feedback from people. And so I want you to think about how that plays out in your own life. Do you have an easy time accepting feedback? Is it easier for you to accept feedback when it's positive, when it's glows? PS 17, let's all work on how we receive feedback. Have an awesome day. Have an awesome weekend. And as always, we love you.